Empowerment versus micromanagement. People I talk with often express concern about hiring staff. They worry, will I find people who are competent? Will I have to explain every little thing to them? Will they only do a half-assed job and I'll have to do it again? If so, I'll end up doing double the work. How can I control things to make sure everything turns out all right? I say, don't try to control things. You have to be willing to be the leader of your business and the leader of your life. Leaders are people who know where they're heading and they head there no matter what it takes. Being the leader of your business doesn't necessarily mean being the head honcho or controlling everything. It could mean inviting the people that you work with for their input. It could mean expecting them to make choices on their own. Micromanaging indicates that you, as a business leader, diminish your awareness and focus on the thought that things have to look a certain way. The problem with this is that thoughts are never going to expand a business. They will make it small, which is the micro part of micromanaging. When you micromanage, you go into your thoughts and your expectations and you leave the possibilities behind. You hold the reins on your employees very tightly. You tend to stand over the top of them, watch them, and tell them things. This is not a workable approach. If you notice what happens to the business and to your employees, when you do this, you'll probably observe that the energy stops flowing. The money flows diminish, things start to contract, and there's not much joy. That's because you're holding on to everything. You're doing business from conclusion, control, and judgment, rather than awareness, question, choice, and infinite possibilities. When you empower someone, it is a contribution to them and to your business. You are allowing the contribution to show up for you, and you are allowing the contribution to show up for them. If you ask questions of your staff and function from a space of awareness, rather than from the solidity of answers, you create an energy of empowerment through the company, which allows people to be everything they can be. Empower people to do what they're good at. Empower your staff to do the things they're good at. People like to create their own jobs. When people do what they love, the work becomes an invitation. It becomes joyful, and this expands your business. Each person has a different perspective. If I had a room full of people and I asked each one of them to do a particular job, each person would do the job differently. This is what expansion looks like. It means everyone will have ideas about how things should be done that may never have occurred to you. What if you received the difference of who everybody is? How would you do it? Empowering people to do what they wish creates a very different energy from telling them what to do. When someone on staff asks me how to do something, most of the time I respond with, "How would you do it?" Asking this question allows you to receive their perspective. The other day I had a meeting with someone who works with us. He asked, "Could you give me an indication of what your priorities are?" I asked, "Well, what are you working on?" He told me 5 different things he was doing. I asked, "What would you like to do?" He said, "I would like to work on this and this because I see things are going in that direction." I said, "Great, do that." Later in the day, he sent me an email and said, "Thank you so much for letting me choose my priorities." If I had asked him to do something he didn't want to do, would he have done it well? Would he have done it quickly? Would he have done it with enthusiasm? Probably not. I was willing for him not to do some of the tasks I thought he should do, because I know that if he is doing what he loves and sees those things as important, he is going to do them well and contribute more than I could ever demand of him. When you function from a place where you're not giving orders, you invite contribution and create a more expansive energy in your business. Ask your staff questions like, "What could you contribute to this project? What ideas do you have? Exactly how would you like this to look? Exactly what does this mean to you?" Use the word "exactly" in your questions. It gets the person to define what is true for them, and it gives you more information and awareness about what the person will and won't do. When you empower people in this way, you open the door to their asking, "What can I contribute?" This is a huge factor in the success of a business. By the way, asking people for their input or ideas doesn't mean that you have to implement them. It simply means that you have more information and a broader perspective. If you are willing to ask for and receive their contributions, so much more will show up for you and for them. Empowering people to do what they wish to do creates a very different energy from telling them what you want them to do.